make Detroit safe.
Hey guys, looking for games with really interesting stories? Then you're in the right place. Without wasting time, we'll start the list with RoboCop Unfinished Business, a standalone expansion of the game RoboCop Rogue City, released in 2023. This new adventure puts the player back in the role of the iconic RoboCop Alex Murphy to face a new threat in Detroit. Although it's an expansion, Unfinished Business can be played without having played the original game. The plot focuses on a group of mercenaries who invade the Metro West Police District, stealing components from RoboCop's medical chair and heading to Omni Tower, a gigantic housing complex. The Omni Tower serves as a potential power source that, combined with the stolen components, would allow the mercenaries to access all of OCP's technology, including RoboCop himself. The leader of the mercenaries is a former colleague of Murphy's, with similar goals but different methods. The narrative will include flashbacks showing Murphy as a police officer before becoming RoboCop.
Murphy!
Eyes on target! RoboCop's here!
Who are you?
Don't you remember me?
Listen to me, Jack.
Metal Gear Solid Delta. Snake Eater is a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, originally released in 2004 for PlayStation 2. This new title, scheduled for August 28, 2025, promises to bring the classic experience to modern players with improved graphics and updated features while maintaining fidelity to the original story. The game is set during the Cold War and follows the journey of Naked Snake, who would later become Big Boss, on a mission to rescue a Soviet scientist. The plot is known for its complexity, memorable characters, and surprising twists, being considered one of the best in the Metal Gear franchise. The original storyline will be maintained, including the sexual and suggestive content present in the original game. The gameplay focuses on stealth action, with Snake needing to use his environment and skills to avoid enemies and complete his objectives. The game features a variety of weapons, equipment, and gadgets to help Snake on his mission.
And the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin. A world war.
An ocelot never lets his prey escape.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by Gru? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I'm defecting to the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
Even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger.
Colonel!
It'll be our friend, the American defector.
The Witcher 4, formerly known by the codename Project Polaris, is a single-player open-world RPG developed and published by CD Projekt Red. It is the fourth main entry in the Witcher series, based on the books by Andrzej Sapkowski, and marks the beginning of a new trilogy. The game will feature Ciri, Geralt of Rivia's adopted daughter, as the protagonist, a significant change from previous games which focused on Geralt. The game promises to be the series' most immersive and ambitious open-world RPG, using Unreal Engine 5 for next-generation graphics and mechanics. The Witcher 4 will be centered on Ciri, who is now a Witcher in training, after undergoing the painful trial of the Grasses, a process that transformed her into a powerful warrior. The narrative will explore what it means to truly become a Witcher, following Ciri on her journey in a dark and brutal fantasy world.
The
the pillars! He's tradition! I was chosen to bring salvation! So thank
She went to go to the woods. The chosen one. His tradition.
Oh no, no, no.
It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods. To go to the gods.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Grand Theft Auto 6 is an open-world action-adventure game developed and published by Rockstar Games. It will be the 8th main title in the Grand Theft Auto series, succeeding GTA 5 from 2013 and the 16th overall entry in the franchise. The game is one of the most anticipated releases in the video game industry, with extremely high expectations due to the success of its predecessor, which sold over 210 million copies and generated over $8 billion in revenue. The story follows the criminal duo Lucia Caminos and Jason Duval, described as a Bonnie and Clyde-style couple. They are involved in a criminal conspiracy that spans Leonida, starting with a robbery gone wrong, forcing them to rely on each other to survive. The narrative promises to be highly immersive and centered on crime, police chases, and a satire of American culture.
My strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, oh. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life. Whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, oh.
And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Death Stranding 2 on the Beach is the highly anticipated sequel to the acclaimed Death Stranding, developed by Kojima Productions and published by Sony. Directed and written by Hideo Kojima, the game promises an open-world action-adventure experience, viewed in third person, with a planned release date of June 26, 2025, exclusively for PlayStation 5. The game continues the story of Sam Porter Bridges, played again by Norman Reedus. This time, he embarks on a new journey to save humanity from extinction, facing supernatural enemies and obstacles in a world haunted by the question, should we have connected? Aile Fanning as Tomorrow and Leia Seydoux as Fragile also return to the cast. The gameplay will maintain key elements from the first game, such as delivering cargo and exploring a vast open world full of secrets. Players will face human and supernatural enemies, using a variety of equipment and vehicles to navigate the challenging terrain. Kojima's complex and engaging narrative is a central point of the experience.
seem far away. I can't be blinded by the dark. Yes, I won't be blinded by the dark.
Ballad of Antara is an upcoming dark fantasy action RPG developed by Tipswork Studio and published by Infold Games. Announced during Sony's State of Play in May 2024, the game is scheduled for release in 2025 and will be free to play. Ballad of Antara takes place in a world ravaged by a mysterious fog-like plague carrying an unknown evil. This plague kidnaps the world's fundamental essences, trapping them in an alternate dimension called Para, where dangers and mysteries abound. Players take on the role of emissaries, powerful entities capable of traveling between the common world and Para, with the mission of recovering these lost essences, facing colossal divine creatures, and uncovering the truth behind the calamity. A central element of the narrative involves a young girl, who seems to be the key to saving the world, and players will accompany her on her journey of growth and confrontations.
你们就全完了。我们原本想顺着朝圣的路前往巨像，没想到出了点意外。
如果还有时间，我倒是想让你多睡会儿。
The Sinking City 2 is a third-person survival horror game, developed by Frogwares and slated for future release. Set in a distorted and flooded version of the 1920s United States, the game promises an immersive experience in the cosmic horror universe of H.P. Lovecraft. The gameplay focuses on exploration, mystery solving, and combat against supernatural creatures. The game takes place in a flooded city, possibly Arkham, a recurring location in Lovecraft's writings, full of flooded alleys and ruined mansions. Players will encounter a dense and oppressive atmosphere, typical of cosmic horror, with supernatural elements and bizarre creatures inspired by Cthulhu mythology. The narrative should involve solving environmental mysteries and discovering clues scattered throughout the scenery. Using Unreal Engine 5, the game promises cutting-edge graphics, with lumen global illumination, nanite photorealistic geometry, and realistic characters created with metahuman technology. Hell Is Us is a third-person action-adventure game developed by Rogue Factor and published by Nacon, scheduled for release on September 4th, 2025 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC. The game is set in an isolated, war-torn country where the player controls Remy on a journey to discover her mysterious origins while facing supernatural creatures and monsters. The gameplay combines intense combat with thrilling exploration, without maps, compasses, or mission markers, encouraging immersion and intuitive decision-making. The central theme of Hell Is Us is the perpetual cycle of human violence, fueled by emotions and passions. The game takes place in a post-apocalyptic setting, in a country devastated by internal conflicts and a mysterious calamity. The story revolves around Rami and her journey to unravel the secrets of her past, confronting the consequences of this calamity. Mafia, The Old Country, is a third-person action-adventure game developed by Hangar 13 and published by 2K Games that delves into the underworld of the Sicilian Mafia in the early 20th century. The game promises a focused narrative experience, with a linear story that contrasts with the open world of previous titles in the franchise. The setting is Sicily, with impressive graphics and attention to the details of the era, including Sicilian dubbing. The player takes on the role of Enzo Favara, a man who, after a difficult childhood in the sulfur mines of Sicily, seeks a better life by joining the Torrisi crime family. The narrative follows his rise in the Cosa Nostra, showing the sacrifices and violence inherent in this world. The game explores the origins of organized crime in the region, offering a perspective on the culture and customs of the time.
You again.
The Alters is an ambitious sci-fi survival game developed and published by 11-Bit Studios, the creators of This War of Mine and Frostpunk. Scheduled for release in 2025, the game puts the player in the shoes of Jan Dolsky, the sole survivor of a crashed space expedition on a hostile planet. To survive, Jan needs to create alternate versions of himself. The Alters, using a substance called Rapidium. Each altar represents a crucial decision from Jan's past, resulting in different skills and personalities. The Alters explores profound themes about life choices, destiny, and the impact of past decisions. The branching narrative presents moral dilemmas and multiple endings, depending on the player's choices. The interaction with the Alters and their carefully crafted stories is a key element of the experience. The game also addresses the fundamental question, do we shape our destiny, or does it shape us?
We still have places to explore, new things to discover, and dangers that I need to handle.
Don't get yourself killed out there. This base needs you to operate.
That's what I have my altars for.
Work isn't everything. You can't ignore their personal needs.
Sometimes I feel like everything here is personal. How's that bridge going?
I'm working on it. The technology I need should be in the database somewhere.
Oh, come on. We don't have forever.
Actually, we only have 1 day. And right now, the botanist is calling your wife.
Let me talk to her.
The technician is inciting a rebellion, and the miner, he just hacked his arm off.
This arm is yours, not mine. What about the goddamn bridge?
Yes, about that. We can't build...
The Precinct is a police action game developed by Fallen Tree Games and published by Quali. Its release is scheduled for May 13, 2025, and will be available for PC, Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox. The game puts the player in the shoes of Officer Nick Cordell Jr., a rookie cop in Averno City in 1983. The city is dominated by gangs, and Nick's father was murdered while on duty. The plot revolves around the investigation of his father's murder and the cleaning up of the city streets. The gameplay combines elements of police simulation with action in an open world. Players patrol the streets, respond to calls, fight criminals, participate in vehicle chases, cars and helicopters, and investigate crimes ranging from parking violations to bank robberies. The game also features a detailed support system that allows players to call for police reinforcements, roadblocks, and other resources. Ghost of Yotei is an upcoming third-person action-adventure game developed by Sucker Punch Productions, the same creators of the acclaimed Ghost of Tsushima. Set 300 years after the events of the original game, in 1603, the game takes place in the mountainous region of Mount Yotei in Ezo, present-day Hokkaido, Japan. The protagonist is Atsu, a lone mercenary with a troubled past. The central premise revolves around revenge of the underdogs. Like its predecessor, Ghost of Yotei will maintain a focus on melee combat and open-world exploration. Atsu will have access to new weapons, including Odachi, Kusarigama, Tanagashima, and dual katanas, in addition to the return of the Kaginawa from Ghost of Tsushima. Players will have more control over the narrative and Atsu's choices than in Ghost of Tsushima. Atsu will need to complete contracts to fund her journey. Well, that was the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you next time.
Situ Rainu. Why do you always call me that?
It means one who is easily lost in the hunt.